Welcome to the first in a series of historical moments taken from the rich history of Cabarrus County. I'm Clarence Horton. This series is a result of a partnership between Historic Cabarrus, Inc. and Cabarrus County. The purpose of this series is to inform our citizens, especially our students, of their rich history. Second, to preserve historic buildings such as this old courthouse. And third is to protect and preserve historical documents and other relics of our past for the future. We welcome you and ask you to go with us as we visit monuments and markers, study personalities and events, all those things which come together to weave the rich fabric of our past and to inform and guide our future. In our journey, we're going to visit every corner of this county and every era of the county's history. We hope that you'll come along for the journey with us. Wearied by years of war, famine, and religious intolerance, settlers from all the nations of Western Europe streamed into the broad lands of the New World during the closing years of the 17th and the early years of the 18th century. Large groups of staunch Presbyterians from the Ulster region of Northern Ireland and German-speaking settlers of the Lutheran and Reformed beliefs settled in the rich lands of colonial Pennsylvania and Maryland. By the third decade of the 18th century, pressures for cheaper farmland and more religious elbow room drove descendants of those pioneer settlers southward down the Great Wagon Road, through the valley of the Shenandoah, and into the Carolina Piedmont. Many of them were attracted to the rolling lands between the Catawba and Yadkin rivers, a land of swift streams, hardwood forest, and broad prairies ready for the plow. Those first settlers were citizens of Bladen County until Anson County was formed in 1750, then Mecklenburg County in 1762. In 1792, the descendants of those pioneers and patriots persuaded a reluctant state legislature to form a new county to be called Cabarrus from the northeastern portion of Old Mecklenburg. Local disagreement over the location of the courthouse and the jail delayed the purchase of land for a county seat until 1796, when three commissioners, John Means, James Scott, and Leonard Barbic, purchased 26 acres of land on a ridge overlooking 3 Mile Branch. The tract was surveyed into 45 lots, 2 of which were reserved for use of the public. The City of Concord has erected markers indicating the boundaries of that original town tract. The original 26-acre town tract was bisected by the 2 principal streets. Union Street, which ran generally to the northwest and to the southeast, was 66 feet in width. It was intersected by Corbin Street, which was also 66 feet in width. Now, the original surveyors began their work from this old surveyor stone, which is still preserved. All measurements were made from this point. In 1936, the local chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution erected this plaque to mark the location of the original surveyor stone. That first county courthouse was built here in the intersection of Corbin and Union Streets by local master carpenter John Masters. It was a frame structure about 30 feet square with a 15-foot ceiling. It was raised off the ground on 3-foot tall pilings. Building was hot in the summertime and cold in winter. I had a very few small windows to provide any kind of ventilation and air at all. Building was full of furniture. At the south side of the room was a long bench for the use of the 3 judges who presided over the sessions of court. In front of their bench were 2 small tables for the use of the attorneys, a bench for the use of the jurors, and a very few seats for those lucky citizens who could crowd their way in to watch the sessions of court. Although the building was rather inelegant and woefully inadequate, it served the needs of a new county until 1826, when a more permanent brick structure was erected along the west side of North Union Street. In 1826, local contractors erected a more traditional Southern-style 19th century courthouse for the use of Cabarrus County on this large lot on the corner of Union and Corbin Street. Public well on the other side of the courthouse served the needs of those folks who came into town for court business or to attend the local general stores. That courthouse was 2 stories tall, made out of brick, had an entryway on the ground floor, and then a second-floor porch which led into the Superior Court courtroom, which could be reached by stairs on both sides. The courthouse had 2 fluted columns in front. Although we have no contemporary pictures of that second courthouse, descriptions resemble that of the old Mecklenburg County courthouse, except for the number of its columns. Unfortunately, that beautiful building was destroyed by fire in 1875. Local citizens prevented the destruction of all the public records by carrying them out of the burning building. Unfortunately, that building was lost to us. The only thing which remained were the 2 granite bases for the columns, which are still located to the rear of the historic Cabarrus County Courthouse. That courthouse was begun in 1875, immediately after the destruction of the second courthouse, and completed in 1876. For more than a century, it served the needs of the people of Cabarrus County. The beautiful historic Cabarrus County Courthouse was designed by Charlotte architect G.S.H. Applegate and completed in 1876. It served as the center of government and public life for the growing county for a century, until it was replaced by the modern 4th Courthouse on an adjoining lot. Citizens came to the historic building to register land transactions, obtain marriage licenses, and probate their wills. Superior Court juries decided matters of life and death in the Superior Court courtroom. In addition, important public meetings were held in the large courtroom, including the meetings of local political parties and meetings held to subscribe shares in the new railroad. Churches and businesses were organized there, and traveling lecturers rented it for their magic lantern shows. In the 1970s, the building was barely saved from the wrecking ball by a newly formed group called Historic Cabarrus, Inc., which devoted itself to preservation of the building and its rich heritage. The historic courthouse, with its unique architectural details, has been newly renovated through the efforts of Cabarrus County commissioners. The old Superior courtroom has been transformed into a comfortable auditorium suitable for both meetings and theater productions. From an office in the renovated structure, Historic Cabarrus continues to develop plans to preserve local historical records and other significant structures. Some of the renovated rooms may be used for badly needed office space and possibly for a museum. Whether you spend any time within these walls or simply pass by, you can be grateful for the sacrifice and the vision of those who helped preserve this historic building for our generation and those to come. It's easy when you're within these walls to imagine a far simpler, distant time when cotton was king and when the county courthouse was truly the center of county life. Thank you for spending this moment with us. We want you to join with us in the journey throughout our county history. If you have ideas for topics or locations, we hope that you'll contact us with those. Forward them to Janet Dearman, Executive Director of Historic Cabarrus, Inc., P.O. Box 966, Concord, NC, 28026, or call Janet at 704-920-2465, or email her at hiscab1@ctc.net. Thank you.